Testing 1 2 1 2. What up? What it do? What it do? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, listen, real quick. We're gonna start it off the right way. Double salute to everyone that's watching me live and live in color. Appreciate it. If you're a part of the roller tape film crew, double salute to you. If you're watching this live and live in color, double salute to you. If you're watching the replay of this live, I welcome you. Double salute to you. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, grab a plate. Grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you this evening. Some food for thought. Come on in. Come on in. We getting right into it. Listen, I know this is a pop-up live. You know, I just sneak in the back door every now and then. Come on in. I want to talk about some boxing tonight. But before I do that, I want to do an audio check. All things. What's good with you? I see you. A member of the channel, supervisor of the Roller Tape Film Crew. Yeah, can I get an audio? Hey, all things. Can I get an audio check real quick, man? Hold, let me grab my little water real quick. Can y'all hear me? Can somebody give me an audio check, please? Can y'all hear the mic? Am I good? Y'all sure I'm good? I'm good. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. Thank you, Flyer Frequency. What's up with you, big dog? Fire and Dice. What's up? We want to talk about a few things. Now, we know that Victor Conti is deceased, right? And I'm only bringing him up because he is the self-proclaimed anti-doping advocate. That's what he always, proclaimed. I have also proclaimed I am a self-proclaimed anti-doping advocate. Now, most of you that have been here for a while with me, you know the work that I have put in. And it doesn't stop here. So I have some questions that I want to talk about and ask Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, because we know that they both are going to be fighting this Saturday evening. And we also know that the weigh-in is tomorrow night. But before we get there, Bill Haney, the 2023 Manager of the Year, the father of Devin Haney. He keeps saying he's a trainer of Devin Haney. But I'm just going to follow his words. The trainer of his son, Devin Haney. He told Andre Ward in a recent interview that there's a hit list, a top 10 hit list that Devin Haney has. In other words, there's 10 fighters that should be on this list that Devin Haney has been proposing to fight. This is not the first time we've heard Bill Haney speak on this list, okay? But it's a couple of things that I wanted to share regarding this list that Bill Haney put out. The list of professional fighters that his son is proposing to fight. I want to bring that in this, right? Before I do that, come on in, y'all. Come on in. If you haven't done so already, you might be watching the replay of this live, or you might be here live. Please subscribe to the channel. Share this live. Share it. Share it. Don't wait. Don't wait. Share it. When this goes off, share it. Because I want the education and the entertainment value to reverberate all across the world on YouTube. Right? Before I get into that, I brought up Victor Conti, right? I brought up Bill Haney. I want to say this. I was talking to my homie Lump earlier today. And I wanted to say this because I have to give credit where it is due. Victor Conti, right? The owner of Snack. He will always have a certain level of respect from me on this front. He had enough guts. I'm talking about Victor Conti, RIP Victor Conti. But Victor Conti had enough guts to come up here on this platform and sit on the hot seat and talk to me. I really, really respect that man for that. Before I continue, can we get the likes to be congruent with the viewership? You know, I don't ask for much. You're going to love this show tonight. I have a lot of things I want to unpack this evening. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. You're going to get some entertainment and some education. I can assure you of that. Can you please hit the like button? I don't ask for much. I want to make sure that YouTube, who's been shadow banning this channel for 2 years in a row, I want to make sure they push this out. I want certain people who represent the boxing community to hear this live tonight. Okay? And I need your help. I need your help. Because we're at the family barbecue right now. Okay? Bang Boogie Boxing. What's up? Listen, right? I give Victor Conti a lot of respect for the fact that he realized coming up here, talking to me, was not going to be a walk in the park. He realized that because he's seen multiple countless videos that I've published, not just on Snack, but on boxing, the business of boxing, right? People know that I'm a very controversial person. I'm an independent thinker. You all know that, right? And the extensive research that I have conducted, 15 years to be exact, on Victor Conti, Alex Ariza, and Memo Heredia when it comes down to the sensitive topic of performance enhancement drugs in sports, but mainly in the sport of boxing. Not only did he come up here, but he gave us some knowledge. He gave us some knowledge now. There's some things that you did not know that Victor Conti explained. There's about 2 points that Victor Conti explained that I did not have clarity on. And he provided the clarity for me when he came up here. I said all that to say that Victor Conti came up here not once, but twice. And he sat in that hot seat. And he tried his best to explain to the audience how doping works, how anti-doping works. Now, him and I didn't end on a good note after the second interview, right? I didn't have anything against him, but apparently he started to develop some issues that he had with me. Everybody knows this. This is no secret. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because he deserves credit for coming up here to talk to me. And I will respect the fact and always appreciate the fact that no matter what disagreements myself and Victor Conti had, he still graced me with his presence. He still graced the Roller Tape family, y'all, my audience members. Whether you like me or not, whether you agree with me or not, everybody was able to eat off of Victor Conti coming up here. The audience members, the fans of boxing, was able to eat education and entertainment. I gotta make it entertaining, right? But also at the same time, there were content creators that use information that they learned from my platform while Victor Conti is here. And some of them did shout me out and give me credit. So that's not the point that I'm making. The point is that he could have went anywhere else, but he graced me with his presence, and I will always be grateful for that because I wasn't and still am not, according to the subscription base, a large platform. It's funny to me that I have the loudest voice in boxing on YouTube. But at the end of the day, Victor Conti came up and he was a part of the 2.9 million views that I've received over a 3-year time span. Now, he only came up here twice, but the point that I'm making is he found it not robbery to come up here on this small platform and give me not one interviews, but two. And I will respect him for that. Now, segue that into Bill Haney. Bill Haney also came up here several times. Most of y'all remember this. Bill Haney has been in my live chat on at least 2 to 3 occasions. I encouraged him to click the link both times or all 3 times, and he refused to do it. Most of you know he was on World Boxing Knowledge. I hope I'm not mispronouncing the YouTube channel, but I think it's called World Boxing Knowledge, right? Bill Haney was over there. I went over there. I caught Bill Haney over there. I clicked the link, wanted to holler at Bill Haney to ask him some impressive questions. Bill Haney heard that it was me on the other end of that phone, and his words, not mine, he said, "I'm not effing with Marty. I'm out of here." And he dipped. I'm saying all of that to say, Bill Haney, if you're listening, come on up. You don't have to come tonight. Come on up here, Bill. I want to ask you some questions. I've been meaning to talk to Bill Haney. There's no beef between Bill Haney and I. Now, Bill Haney, if some of you don't know, Bill Haney threw a lot of shots at me, calling me a Walmart manager. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember this about a year and some change ago. Bill Haney went on Fight Hub TV, a major platform that had over 2.5 million subscribers, and he told the audience members over there that we know he was talking about me. He indirectly threw a shot and said that I'm a manager at Walmart, right? We know that, right? So it's nothing but respect between me and Bill. I'm just trying to figure out. Bill Haney jumped on Vlad TV. You know, he jumped on Andre Ward and them podcasts recently. You know, he jumps on everybody's platform. I'm just trying to figure out why certain people don't want to come over here and talk to me. I just want to ask like 2 questions. I mean, it's only 2 questions. But I'm just making it entertaining. But if Bill Haney is listening, I would like to talk to Bill because it seems like he likes entertainment, but also he loves talking and having conversations. So I figure since he named the top 10 list, why don't he answer certain questions that I have for him? Now, I am going to ask 2 of them tonight. But before I get there with Bill Haney, and we're going to talk about Garcia and Mario Barrios Suspicious. That's the title, right? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to Bill Haney and Devin Haney's top 10 list. We're going to get to that. But before we do, I have to say this. Now, I have to keep it real with y'all and be 100 with you all, like I always am. And tonight won't be an exception to the rule. I want to say 2 years ago. Let's just say 2 years ago. 2 years ago, could have been a year. No, yeah, about 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Me and Rachel Donier, the wife of, in my opinion, first ballot Hall of Famer, Nonito Donier. We were cool, but 2 years ago, unfortunately, she developed this beef with me. I didn't have a beef with her. The man's wife had a beef with me. Okay? I'm not bringing up anything old, but I have to point something out for all of my new members, my new family members here. I was going to leave it alone. I promise you, I wasn't going to speak on this. But the more I think about my son, I'm talking about my actual biological son, it makes me think about speaking on it. So I am. Now, in the interim of all of this, me and Rachel Donier, we had dialogue indirectly through YouTube. She went behind my back and did 2 YouTube lives about me. I was getting phone calls, text messages, DMs left and right while I was out of town celebrating with a family member, a relative of mine. And when I caught wind of what was going on, I wasn't going to do a live back. I wasn't going to do a live back. Oh, I was going to respond. You know, Manager Marty. You know I'm going to respond. But at the end of the day, I was going to do it more gracefully. Because at the end of the day, I got respect for Nonito. And she's a woman. And she's somebody else's wife. But at the same time, it was certain lies that she told on me in the live. And I addressed it. I went live. Most of you were here. Y'all remember that, right? If you're watching the replay of this live, some of y'all remember this, right? Now, fast forward. I air fried Rachel Donier. There's no question about that. I addressed everything that she said and disproved every lie and false narrative that she told about me. That's not the issue. The issue now becomes this, where my son had to be involved in this. See, had she left my young junior out of this, I wouldn't be speaking on this right now, what I'm about to say. But she brought little Marty up. Most of you were here a few months back when I had my son come on the platform. We were talking about certain topics and certain fights in boxing, right? Some of y'all remember my son, little Marty, right? Okay. Now, Rachel Donier put this narrative out about me being broke. Okay? Talking about back then and how it's relative to today. She put the narrative out that I'm broke, that I begged her for a hotel stay, which was a lie, that I begged her for boxing tickets to come to the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, which was a lie, that I begged her to pay for my room and board or hotel stay and airfare and boxing ticket and per diem of food, which was a lie. But that wasn't the issue. The issue became an issue when she proved herself being underhanded by mentioning my son and going on my Facebook page and putting out before the world, her audience, a screenshot of a GoFundMe post that I put up and organized on behalf of my teenage son at the time, who had a legal situation. Okay? Now, if you are black in America and you from the hood, you know the type of situations that can occur with young people who immerse themselves with the wrong crowd. Well, that's what happened with my son. I'm not going to divulge my son's case on YouTube. But what I will say is that as a young black father, I did everything in my power, in my recourse, to utilize my resources to help resolve that legal situation with my son. In fact, I have no secret to say this part. My son had to sit down for a few months. And if you are from the community, you understand what the word sit down means. But my son had to sit down for a few months behind this unfortunate situation. Now, in that, Rachel Donier criticized me for using a GoFundMe, which I was only requesting, and it's public record, there's no secret. And I wasn't like big time Manager Marty or none of this when this happened. At the time it actually happened. But the time I did the GoFundMe, I had just started this YouTube channel a few months before, which don't make a difference. The point I'm making is this. The YouTube channel had nothing to do with the GoFundMe. I never included me being on YouTube. I never included me being a full-time entrepreneur. outside of YouTube or other business ventures that I'm involved in. I never mentioned the fact that I was a boxing manager. I never mentioned any of that in the GoFundMe. But Rachel Donier used that to prove that I'm broke because I was organizing a GoFundMe, right? Now, by right, it was only a $1,200 ask. GoFundMe, it was a small, short-term $1,200. Now, let me place this in context. My son is not sitting down anymore, right? I stepped up to the plate and I made sure that my son had a seamless process as much as possible in the penal system and made sure that my son was free and home. And I thank God for the resources that he allowed me to already have. And I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that I sacrificed of my own money, just like any other good father would do, including going to the GoFundMe. But I was being wildly criticized for it by Rachel Donier, calling me broke, as if being black in America is a new condition for black men. But in any way, she did all of that. Now, I had some information that I could have presented at the time where I could have proved the fact that I've made more money than her at the time that she said that. But I didn't do that. I never went low in how I responded to Rachel. But I wanted to point something out tonight. I wanted to make sure we close that casket because me being broke isn't an issue. I mean, who cares if I am broke? Let's say I am broke. So what? Who cares? Let's say I am broke. Let me ask a question on that. How come Nonito Donier has a fight coming up on March the 15th of this year, next month? That's what bothers me about this. It's not about Rachel Donier or anybody calling me broke. I don't care about none of that. I'm an old head. I'm not no young boy. I don't care about a perception of somebody calling me broke or having money. That's not important to me. What I'm trying to get at is this. Nonito Donier, a man who's upward of 43 years old with over 52 professional boxing matches, first ballot Hall of Famer, former world champion, is getting in the ring on March the 15th against a fighter, an opponent who has 9 wins and 1 loss. And what bothers me about it all is the fact that Rachel Donier came out and put this narrative out that I was broke. That don't bother me. The part that I'm broke, that don't bother me. What bothers me is the whole time she was doing that, her husband, in the last 2 years, this will be the second time he's got to get in the ring and take punches upside their head at his tender age with his experience and the contributions that he has made in this sport to support his family. I got a problem with that. I do. I don't like when professional boxers, okay, have to take unnecessary punishment, especially to the head, especially when they don't have the legs and the chin. The first 2 things that go on a professional boxer when they start advancing in age. How dare you call me broke? And now we got to deal with your husband having to go out there twice in the last year and a half, actually, and go in that ring in his 40s. I don't like that. And what I'm saying is we got to watch what we put out in the atmosphere with our words because our words have power. The Bible speaks on it very clearly. The power of life and death is in the tongue. I'm going to say it again for somebody that's sitting back there. The power of life and death is in the tongue. You can bring someone to life with your words or you can kill them. And so I said all that to say that all of you that was jumping on Rachel Donier's bandwagon all on the videos, all in her lives, coming up, clicking the link on her platform, throwing shots at me when y'all never even met me or know nothing about me. I want y'all to go ask her why that husband of hers got to go in that ring and take all this punishment like that. I want you, whoever co-signed her, I don't care if you cool with her or not, whoever co-signed her from bringing up my son and my son's legal situation, which she knew nothing about, whoever co-signed that, I want you to go ask her right now. Because it don't sound like I'm broke. It sounds like they are. And I don't like that. I want y'all to go ask her why. Her husband got to go fight on March the 15th against a fighter who's 9-1 and got to take unnecessary punishment to his head and his body to support his family when she's supposed to be his manager, right? She's supposed to be his wife, right? Oh, all right. I wish y'all would tell me to calm down. I wish somebody would tell me, stop, Marty. She's a woman. You ain't say that when I went on Knockout Boxing 86 TV channel and went up there to talk and chill with them guys that was up there, and she jumped on and disrespect me then. You didn't say nothing then. None of y'all backed my play up that was on her side. Hey, I'll be broke. But when a fighter got to get in the ring like this under these circumstances and conditions, it's because they broke, and I don't like that. It bothers me. In fact, you know anything about my history, that was one of the motivating factors I had to enter into this business to help fighters. And to have to see and hear the news that Nonito Donaire has to get in this ring at upward of 43 years old, over 52 professional bouts. First ballot Hall of Fame, a former world champion. And his wife called me broke. It's not about her calling me broke. Once again, money don't make me. It's the principles of it all. Because there's still the residual effects of what she said about my son. She brought my family in this. And I just wanted to make sure, because that when I read that and saw that he was fighting, that bothered me. I just wanted to make sure I get that off my chest. Now, moving on to Bill Haney. Bill Haney has a hit list, he said. And I'm going to play the tape. I'm with the Grits tonight. I'm going to play the tape. Dodge J, you was over, take my glasses off and talk to him. Yeah, I seen you in the comment section, Dodge J. Now, I know you support the channel, brother, and I'm glad you're here. But you was over there in her comment section, brother, when she was calling me broke. Dodge J, you was there, you remember. I'm glad you're here tonight. Go ask her a question, man. Now, I'm not accusing you of co-signing her. I just remember seeing your name in the comment section, bro. Go ask her why that man got to take punishment in the ring like that, bro. Just ask her that. That's all I'm saying, Dodge. Hey, you know I don't ask for much. Go ask her that. Why that man got to fight at 43 years old? The man already told us twice he retired. It's just a question. Now, with that being said, Bill Haney got this top 10 list, and I wanted to address the names that he did mention, okay? Because he did mention Keyshawn Davis. He mentioned Boots. He mentioned Tank Davis. He mentioned Shakur Stevenson. He mentioned Conor Benn. And he mentioned Ryan Garcia. But before I get to Bill Haney, I told you I'm with the Grits tonight. I got to address somebody else. I love this channel, don't you? I want to play an excerpt because I want to make sure that all of you are educated. You know what this channel is about. I do provide education for all my new audience members. I do make sure that you get entertained. I do. But the objective of my channel, I want to make sure everybody knows, the objective of this channel is to provide what? Education. There was some misinformation that reverberated across the world on YouTube in the boxing community. And I believe it is my obligation and my duty to make sure that I correct it so that if anyone believed the misinformation, they will realize that it's misinformation and then they can be more informed. Okay? That's what I'm about to talk about. It's not going to take me that long, I promise you. We're going to get to Bill Haney's top 10. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios being suspicious. We're going to get to all that. But I have to, I have to give education. Now let's get right to it. I'm going to play what I heard. Now it's not the whole video. It's only a few seconds. I'm going to play what I heard. And when I heard the misinformation, I wanted to make sure I educated you all, right? And give you the proper, correct information, because that's what my channel is all about. Now, let me see if we can pull it up. Here it is. I'm gonna let you hear it first. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna break it down like an old rifle. Hold on one second. To all of my Spanish audience members, por favor, un momento. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Ryan Garcia in his recent interview says that after this fight with Mario Barrios this Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada, which he's going to be contending for the WBC welterweight strap, that he will be a free agent, kind of.
You're not with Golden Boy.
I am. After this fight, I'll be sort of a free agent.
Okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know I talk about potential politics in the sport of boxing. Now, I know a lot of people is making their predictions. Some people got Mario Barrios, some people got Ryan Garcia to win. I've read boxing contracts before, and let me tell you like this. If a fighter like Ryan Garcia, because I'm thinking about when he said kind of, when a boxer like Ryan Garcia is contending for a world title and wins a world title, you automatically extended, your promotional contract is automatically extended by 12 months.
I'm going to stop the tape right there. Band up! What's going on, my guy? Now, enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day cards. That was the voice of Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Drunk Boxing is very familiar with this platform. He has used several different clips of mine to illustrate talking points, particularly to Bill Haney, regarding Victor Conti, the snack program, VADA testing, etc. So there is no issue between me and Punch Drunk Boxing. But if it was somebody else and I had to correct them, I would do the same thing. I don't hold any punches. I don't play favoritisms, and it is what it is. Now, with that being said, Punch Drunk Boxing, as you just heard him say, he said that Ryan Garcia said that after this fight with Mario Barrios, he will be a free agent, meaning Ryan Garcia will be a free agent. He even played it. Before I continue, let me make sure we get an audio check. Did everybody hear what Punch Drunk Boxing said? I want to make sure the audio is clear. I don't want nobody to get lost in translation. Did y'all hear that? Band up, did you hear that? Dodge J. Who else here? Fist of Fury. Who else here? Oh, Steve Mega here. Steve. Yo, did y'all hear that? I want to make sure the audio is clear now. Did y'all hear that? I want to make sure we clear. Can I get an audio check? Did everyone hear that? I promise you I won't hold you too long. Can I get somebody in the live chat to just confirm whether you heard the audio or not? I want to make sure we're clear. I want to make sure the audio was clear because it was low on my end. I don't have my earpiece in. It's right here. I don't have the earpiece in. I don't have it in. Here it is right here. I don't have it in. So I want to make sure I can. We good? Good. All right. So everybody's saying they heard it. Great. Now, Punch Drunk Boxing, after playing with Ryan Garcia, said, thank you. Who's that? Just call me GB. Never seen you before. Just call me BG. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your engagement. Appreciate you. Punch Drunk Boxing said that, because Ryan Garcia said those words, his words were not mine, that Ryan Garcia if he wins this fight against Mario Barrios, of course, as we know, he will be the WBC welterweight champion of the world. But Punch Drunk Boxing said that he have seen boxing contracts. And he also said that, he's seen boxing contracts. And boxing contracts, which are standard, his words, not mine, standard in boxing is that once a promoted fighter competes for a world title and they win that title, according to standard boxing contracts in the sport, a boxer's contract automatically extends for 12 months. Now, I don't know what contract Punch Drunk Boxing read, but I can assure you that is not standard in the business of boxing. I do know that people have learned that concept that he's talking about from this platform right here. No, it's no secret. I mean, look, we got to keep it all the way real. When it comes to the business of boxing and certain things that goes on in boxing contracts and behind the scenes, there are a lot of those certain things that the audience members and boxing fans and even people that represent the boxing community as professional boxers did not know before I jumped on the scene on YouTube. Now, let me put this in perspective. I'm not saying that. Let me remind you, I'm not saying that for nobody to pat me on the back or give me credit or none of that. I'm saying that because when you put out information, you have to make sure it's accurate, especially when it comes to the business of boxing. And if you didn't read no contracts, I would recommend Punch Drunk Boxing or nobody else not to say it. Because people are going to start questioning the integrity of the YouTuber. And I don't think it's fair if the YouTuber has credibility. So that's why I'm saying, if it never happened, don't say it. If you learn the talking point from somebody else, quote the source so that when someone challenges you, you can say, I had journalistic integrity. I learned that from this person, or I heard that from that person. But if you come out and say something to make the audience believe that all of it came from your personal experience or your personal knowledge, and it comes back that is not true, then that can hurt your brand. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened to Punch Drunk, but I am saying that Punch Drunk Boxing, amongst other content creators that been on YouTube for years before I got here, have learned something about the business of boxing from this platform. The ones that like me and respect me, and the ones that don't like me and respect me, they all learned it from me. Now, there's some things that I'm sure people already knew before I got here, but there's other critical pieces of information that you would only know from the experience of somebody who actually read, negotiated, and evaluated boxing contracts. Now, for the correction, it is not standard in boxing. And when you say standard, remember, when you say standard, that means it's widespread. That means this is the cultural norm, right? It's not standard in boxing that when a fighter wins a world champion, that their contract automatically extends for 12 months. I've never seen that in a boxing contract. Now, it doesn't mean that because I didn't see it, that it's not there. So I'm not saying that. But what I know in the business of boxing, standard-wise, it's typically 3 years. When a professional boxer competes for a world title, right? And they win that world title, their contract extends for 3 years. That's typically standard. 12 months is not enough for the promoter to even recoup on their initial investment that they had to put up for the fighter to even contend for a world title and then compete for it. So 3 years gives the promoter enough time not just to recoup off of their initial investment, but of course, as any good business person will tell you, make a profit. Let me give you a professional boxer where this actually happened to. Standard in boxing. I can name 50 boxers right now, but I'm gonna name one. A more famous boxer that everybody can relate to, Terrence Bud Crawford. You remember in 2018 when Terrence Bud Crawford moved up in weight to fight the WBO welterweight champion, Jeff Horn. You remember that? It happened in 2018. Terrence Bud Crawford defeated Jeff Horn and became the WBO welterweight champion of the world. What happened? His contract extended for 3 years, which gave him 3 years of still being signed to Top Rank Incorporated, which he was. And that's why 3 years later, in 2021, November of 2021 to be exact, he defended the WBO world title in his final fight under the promotional company Top Rank Incorporated versus Sean Porter. So you see, 2018 to 2021, 3 years. That's how he knew that was his last fight. That's how Top Rank knew that was his last fight. They both fulfilled their contractual obligation through the extended period. I want to make sure we clear on that. I'm not saying it's impossible to happen. I'm not even saying that the language can say 2 years. I'm not even saying the language can say or can't say 4 years. I'm just saying that word standard that I just heard him Punch Drunk say is not accurate. So I want to make sure that when people hear information, they're getting it correctly. Because let me tell you the history that I had to endure personally in my experience on YouTube, right? Manager Marty comes out. I'm talking about in the very beginning of me starting this YouTube channel. I was coming out breaking the business of boxing down, talking about pay-per-view buys. Go back and look. It's still public. Go back and look on my old videos when I was talking about the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. Go back and look at them old videos, and you're going to see other content creators wasn't talking about it before October of 2022. But I was breaking the numbers down, putting the numbers on the screen, calculating the numbers, how ticket sales work, how live gate work, how pay-per-view splits happen, what ancillary rights mean, what closed circuit mean. I was breaking all that down. Nobody on YouTube was getting the information out there at all. So that's why I created a lane for myself to do that. But the point that I'm making is in the interim of me breaking the business down, we had other content creators, no name, no blame. They was putting out these pieces of information as if they was, giving their first-hand knowledge experience of the business. So people start coming in my comments section. People kept DMing me, emailing me as well. Yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You new on the scene on YouTube. They were challenging my credibility. And some people began to undermine my knowledge of the business. Why? Because the people that have been on YouTube, people meaning the content creators for years, they've been on here. And they have influence over the boxing community, right? The boxing fans, and they interview fighters and everything, and they've been credible, right? It made it seem like I didn't know what I was talking about. And those very same people started watching and listening to me. And then they were starting to put the information out on their platform that they learned from me. But because I was a small itty bitty channel, I'm still a small channel, but I mean, I was very smaller than I am today on YouTube. Nobody wasn't hearing me because I didn't have the audience. So I had to keep building and grinding from the muscle to build the audience up. And now I have one of the loudest voices, if not the loudest voices in the business of boxing on YouTube. So the point that I'm making is I'm doing this as a teachable moment, not just for you, but also for Punch Drunk Boxing and other content creators. Just make sure that information is accurate for the fan base. That's all. It's no shots being thrown, but we got to keep it real regardless of who it is. And if it was anybody else, I would be saying the same thing, speaking the truth in love. But at the same time, I don't know if Punch Drunk read boxing contracts or not. But what I do know is that that's not standard in boxing. I can tell you that right now. I do know that. My guy, BVO Sports. What up, big dog? BVO Sports is here. He remembered when I first got on the scene. BVO Sports remember how, I jumped on his platform several times when he invited me to come. And I've broken down the business of boxing to him and his audience. And even BVO came over here and showed me some love. He's a content creator, you know what I mean? So I'm not just making none of this up or trying to sound good or sound like I'm bigger than something that I'm not. That's y'all. I've been on YouTube 3 years now. I've shown y'all all of who I am. You know who I am. But all I'm trying to say is when we content creators, when we put information out, we got to make sure it's accurate. Got to make sure it's accurate. We don't have to put ourselves in a position to sound bigger than what we are. And if we like we know it all, like we know something that we don't know. Because quiet is kept, Southpaw repeated a couple of things that he heard from me. That's just to keep it 100 with you. That's just to keep it all the way real. So it's not like, I'm throwing a shot at the brother, but I just got to keep it real too. Like, yeah, he heard a couple of things that he learned from this platform. You know what I mean? And he repeated it on his show, on his videos that he got from me. That's true. It's no secret. But at the end of the day, we can't put out certain things unless you. And here's the great thing about it: if you don't know, it's okay. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. It's okay. And listen, nobody can say I'm picking on Punch Drunk because I'm cool with him. I don't have a problem with the guy. But remember, just the last time I was on live the other day, what'd I say? I said the same thing about Blue Blood. Remember when Blue Blood said this in his video, and my homie sent it to me. That's how I know. In the reel, he said, "From my ears to y'all ears, Boots Ennis is fighting Virgil Ortiz Jr. in April." And people took that and ran with that and made it seem like, damn, Blue Blood must have inside sources from his ears to from his ears to y'all ears. But the truth is, he ain't even hear that. He read that out of an article with his eyes. So I'm just saying, have journalistic integrity. We don't have to bamboozle the boxing fans because they're going to find out anyway. When people know something or they don't. But when I hear misinformation, and if I can come in, put a lid on it, correct it, right? Speak the truth in love, you understand? And then make people understand this is how the business of boxing works. Because here's the thing. If I don't say anything about it, and I have full knowledge of what what Punch Drunk is saying is not right, I'm complicit in that. That means I'm not upholding journalistic integrity. Why? Because I'm basically allowing the misinformation to reverberate and I'm not doing anything about it. And here's the reason why I'm speaking on it so passionately. Because the first excuse that boxing fans and some content creators will use is the politics of boxing. You've heard it before I even got on YouTube and you still hearing it. Oh man, boxing is corrupt. You heard that. Some of your favorite content creators say it in boxing. Oh man, boxing is corrupt. Oh man, the politics of boxing. Oh man, these fights don't happen because of politics. Ain't never conduct a transaction in boxing, but it's so polluted. And the same ones that's ridiculing the sport and the business of boxing are the same ones monetizing it. Same ones criticizing boxing and how polluted it is. And how evil it is, and how racist it is. They're the same ones that's making money by talking about it. Let's talk. Let's talk. With the grits tonight, I speak nothing but truth. I'm not angry with nobody. I'm not mad. I'm not beefing with nobody. I'm just saying we have to use wisdom when we have the influence of the community. And if you don't know something, it's okay. But the whole from my ears to your ears, when you ain't hear no inside source tell you that. The whole I read all these boxing contracts, that right there, there's no place for that. Hey, and I'm not saying nothing bad about none of these guys. Their heart might be in the right place. And I'm not saying they're lying either. But at the same time, you got to come with evidence. What I tell y'all, see, I'm consistent in what I say and do. What I always tell y'all, this is my Facebook family. I say it to my Facebook family. I say it to my real family in real life, and I say it to my YouTube family. I say it to my family. I run and operate a business, right? A for-profit business outside of YouTube. I say it to my staff, the nonprofit organization that I operate. I say it to everybody, and I'm gonna say it right now on the YouTube. We gotta stop going by what? Hearsay. Remember I tell y'all that? What's my quote? Hearsay is heresy. So I'm not doing nothing different tonight. So I don't want nobody to take none of this personal, but we got to keep it all the way honest. Seriously, let's keep it 100, y'all. Let's be honest with each other as adults here. We all love the sport of boxing, but we can't keep going by hearsay. No, 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 no. We can't. We got to have evidence. See, I can back my play up. I can back it up. When I tell you it's standard in boxing 3 years, I got the paperwork. The people that's saying other things don't have the paperwork. We can't go by hearsay, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Road to Take film crew. No, we got to keep it real. Can't go by hearsay. Because here's the thing, I'm protecting the whole entire business on YouTube as content creators and the business of boxing. Now, enough with that. Let's get to Bill Haney. Bill Haney got a top 10. I'm going to let y'all go when we finish talking about Bill Haney. Then we got to slide on Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, suspicious. This Bill Haney right here, his top 10 list for Devin Haney to have these 10 opponents.
Your man Keyshawn Davis is on there too. He can get it too.
Like right now?
I mean, come on, man. You know, if you really wanted to fight Devin, you would call Dre. You know that's the big homie.
How many names are on the list? Solid, viable options.
Yes, about 10. I think Tank is at the top of it. Maybe Shakur is next. Jerron Ennis. I think Connor Ben might be on there towards the bottom. You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia is number 10. Brian Norman was on there. Keyshawn Davis. Your man Keyshawn Davis is on there too. He can get it too.
Like right now?
Man, listen, I'll go in my email. He'd be playing though. Keyshawn, you know you didn't have to fight this guy that you fight right now. You know you could be fighting Devin next, right? You know that, right? I'll show the email. I'll show you the text right now with him, you know, because what our game is DTC, man, direct to consumer, man.
Like that, Bill. Yeah.
No, we directly we go in the DMs. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. You know, if you really wanted to fight Devin, you would call Dre. You know that's the big homie.
Those were the words of Bill Haney, the top 10 list. It's interesting that the names that Bill Haney named on that list, only one of them is in the welterweight division, and that's Ryan Garcia. Everybody else was north and south of Devin Haney's weight class, where he won the title against Brian Norman Jr. I have a question on that, Bill, because I actually want Bill to come up here. He don't have to come up here tonight, but one day I would love to have Bill Haney here. For some odd reason, every time he comes up here, he does type in the chat. Most of y'all seen that was the real Bill Haney too. He's been up here before 2 or 3 times, but he just won't click the link and come talk to me in my face. I want to talk to the guy. I think we can make history. You know what I mean? Manager to manager. Walmart manager to manager of the year. That would be a great dialogue, wouldn't it? Now, I have a question on that, Bill. He said Tank Davis is number 1 on the list. When Devin Haney had an opportunity to fight Tank Davis, he moved up. I know some people that's cool with Devin Haney and they're fans of Debo Devin might get mad, but we got to listen. I'm short, so I'm gonna always keep it tall with you. After Devin Haney fought Lomachenko, he moved up in weight. He didn't stay at 135. Let's keep it real now. He didn't stay at 135 to fight Tank Davis. He moved up to 140 to fight Regis Prograis. Not only that, Bill Haney named Shakur Stevenson. Okay. All right. Now we know Tank Davis is naturally the smaller guy. He's fighting at 135 compared to Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson just fought at 140. So naturally, he's the smaller guy compared to Devin Haney. But Shakur Stevenson actually jumped inside the ring. Don't forget this now. These are all facts now. I'm going by the list that Bill Haney just put out there. Okay? Shakur Stevenson, when he was still signed to Top Rank Incorporated, when Devin Haney did the 3-fight deal with Top Rank Incorporated, which was the final fight of the deal when he fought Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson jumped into the ring. Y'all remember that? After the Loma fight, Shakur Stevenson jumped inside of the ring directly after the fight, which I give Shakur credit for. And Devin Haney walked out of the ring. Y'all remember that? They didn't do no post-fight interview talking to each other inside the ring. You know, sort of like what Boots and Virgil Ortiz just did together. You know, sort of like when Danny Garcia did it after Errol Spence fought Sean Porter. You know, sort of like Errol Spence did it after Danny Garcia fought Sean Porter. You know, like Keith Thurman did it when he jumped in the ring in Philadelphia, and I was at that fight, front row. When Keith Thurman jumped in the ring after Danny Garcia fought Sammy Vargas. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You know, sort of like when Tyson Fury jumped in the ring. Remember Tyson Fury jumped in the ring after Deontay Wilder fought? Y'all remember that? Before they fought the first time. You know how, come on, don't act like, you know how when Sugar Shane Mosley jumped in the ring after Floyd Mayweather fought Juan Manuel Marquez? Come on, y'all remember? All right. What about when Manny Pacquiao jumped in the ring after Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia? I mean, the list, I can keep this thing rolling on and on. Y'all want me to stop or keep going? I can keep this. You know how Conor Ben just jumped in the ring when Shakur Stevenson just got finished beating Teofimo Lopez? I can keep it going if you want, if you don't remember. Oh, okay. Devin Haney didn't stay in the ring and let the microphone be the tool between him and Shakur. When Shakur jumped in the ring, Devin Haney left out of it. And I heard an interview, and I wish it's in my phone somewhere because I screen recorded. It's in here. I don't have time to find it right now. But I remember Bill Haney being on an interview, and he was asked about that. Why did y'all leave out the ring when Shakur jumped in? And Bill Haney's words were, we was trying to hurry up out the ring to go to the dressing room because we did not want Lomachenko's fans to start throwing bottles at us from the crowd. Hey, Bill, stop me when I'm lying. Bill Haney said those words. My point is what? Bill Haney, when it was hot to fight these two guys, Shakur and Tank, y'all actions proved otherwise. All that talking about Tank Davis' mother. Remember when Bill was doing all that talking about Tank Davis' mother and all that? Remember when Bill, a year after that, talking about he's a monkey and all? Remember all that talking? Y'all remember that, right? Those guys still didn't fight. They could have fought then. Why now? Tank is at 135. He's dealing with legal issues. We don't even know what his career, is at right now. Why is he number one? on the list. And Devin's 147 as a world champion. Shakur Stevenson. Bill Haney came out and said, and Devin, I got the tape. Stop me when I'm lying. We offer Shakur 25%. I got the tape. Devin Haney said it in an interview. I got the tape. Bill Haney said it when it first happened. And I did a video to debunk that. And I asked the question I'm still waiting to get answered. This was 2 years ago. And I'm going to ask it again tonight. Hey, Bill. Hey, Devin. How can y'all have offered Shakur Stevenson 25% of anything when y'all was locked into a guaranteed contract? You was getting a guaranteed purse. A guaranteed purse by a promoter. How can you offer someone anything when you got your hand out getting paid by a promoter? Where they do that at, y'all? But people believe that narrative, remember? So guess what I did? I put a lid on that. Like I just did just now about the 1 year extension, right? I put a lid on that and gave you boxing audience members education. How can you offer somebody a percentage of anything when you are in an exclusive promotional contract with a promoter? You can't even negotiate a percentage with the promoter. So how you going to dictate the term? Oh, I get it. DHP, right? Don't get mad at me because people going to keep saying I'm hating on the Haneys and I'm hating on this guy and I'm hating on that guy. And then when something happened and I was right, they never come back and say, Manager Marty, you were actually right. Which, who cares about it? But the point I'm bringing up is don't get mad at me for speaking the truth. This is facts. I'm not mad at the Haneys. I'm just saying, once again, let's keep it all the way real with each other, y'all. Stop it. You had a guaranteed purse. Oh, y'all going to say DHP, right? Devin Haney Promotions. Okay. Did DHP have a contract with a network or a streaming platform? Stop me when I'm lying. Do they? Do they have any fighters that they actually promoting? You know, like Boots Promotions. You know, Boots Promotions. He has fighters signed to his promotional company, and he's actually putting on events. You know, sort of like Danny Garcia had DSG Promotions. He had fighters signed to his promotion company, and he's out here doing events. You know, sort of like Mayweather Promotions. I can go on and on. You know, like Man Down Promotions. Errol Spence. You know, he signed Frank Martin. I'm just trying to figure out is when is DHP gonna put on some fights and sign some fighters, get a network deal or partnership with somebody that have a network deal? I'm just trying to figure out when. Because according to Eddie Hearn, and I got the tape. Eddie Hearn was in the interview. I got it. I got the tape. I got it. You know I'll roll it. Eddie Hearn said DHP Promotions is just a figurehead. Hey, I'm only going by what Eddie Hearn said. Well, I'm actually going by actions and knowing the business of boxing too. But Eddie Hearn did say that though. I'm just saying, if y'all wanted to fight Shakur and Tank, y'all could have fought them then. Don't fight them now that y'all all big and y'all got to. You know you ain't going to fight Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney on snack, and so was Shakur. You know you ain't going to fight no. You know you ain't going to fight no Shakur. Hey. You know what happened the last time we had snack on snack crime? Remember when Terrence Crawford fought Sean Porter? R.I.P. Victor Conte. But he told me, Victor Conte told me, he told all of us, y'all remember? Hey, he told us, he said he had to go get permission from Sean Porter and Sean Porter's dad first before agreeing to work with Terrence Crawford. That's, hey, that's all I'm saying. You know Shakur was on snack several fights. He was. And so was Devin Haney. Hey, I don't know. He also mentioned Boots. He also mentioned Conor Benn. He also mentioned Ryan Garcia. And then he also mentioned Keyshawn Davis. Now, the problem I had with that is Keyshawn Davis is in a smaller weight class like Tank Davis and Shakur. And Boots and Conor Ben is in the higher weight classes. It's only one fighter on that list, Bill Haney, that I think that y'all should fight. And that's the guy who's in the same weight class as you all, Ryan Garcia. You know, sort of like if Ryan Garcia wins, which he is the favorite to win on Saturday night and become the WBC world champion, why not unify the belts? Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia for both belts on the line. Devin Haney's WBO. If Ryan Garcia wins, Ryan Garcia's WBC. That would be a major money grab for both guys. And by the way, speaking of percentages, since Bill Haney did say they offered Shakur Stevenson a percentage, they took a lower percentage to fight Ryan Garcia. Stop me when I'm lying, Bill Haney. They took a lower percentage to fight Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney owned his own promotion company, DHP, and he was the world champion. Where they do that at? I wish I would be managing a world champion with his own promotion company, and I'm a manager representing a fighter, and we got to take a lower percentage of the challenger who never had a world championship fight and won it and don't even have his own promotional entity? But see, when I said that before, you know what people said? Oh, Manager Marty, you hating because Bill Haney's the manager of the year and you wasn't. That's what somebody told me. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Just stop me when I'm lying. Somebody in the live chat, somebody in the replay of this live, or the comment section below, stop me when anything that I said just now, I'm lying. Say it. Stop me. Say, Marty, you lying and you wrong. Now, Keyshawn Davis, that would be a good fight. But I would like to see Keyshawn Davis fight more competition before just jumping up there to fight Devin Haney, especially at that weight class. Yes, I do. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. That would be a good fight, though. But I think money-wise, the biggest fight for Devin Haney at 147 is against Ryan Garcia in a rematch with both belts on the line, barring if Ryan Garcia wins Saturday night. That's just what I think. Because the other guys, like Boots, like Conor Ben, they have plans, you know, that don't involve Devin Haney, especially Boots. We just got finished talking about, you know, him fighting Virgil Ortiz this year. So we know a him and Devin fight is not going to happen, not now anyway, right? Okay, then. So that's not realistic. That's why I liked how, you know, Andre Ward asked Bill Haney. Now, I respect Ward for this. He said, what's valuable? He said, what's more valuable? What's more of a valuable fight? What's more of a tangible fight like right now that's sensible, that's logical, that can actually physically be done, basically? Like, seriously. Now, he might have DM'd Keyshawn, but anytime Bill Haney go hard to press on fighters to get them to fight, it's because these guys are small in weight or inexperienced compared to Devin. We already know the blueprint. They did the same thing to Regis Prograis. Remember? Okay, then this is no new condition. Bill Haney did the same thing to Richardson Hitchens in New York. It's the same thing he just did to him. Right? A few months ago, didn't he do that to him? Yeah, but Hitchens is not 147. Hitchens is 140. Once again, these guys are naturally smaller. And I'm not saying that they can't beat Devin. Both of these guys, Keyshawn Davis and Hitchens, they are very, very talented fighters. But I'm just saying they still green right now compared to the experience level of a Devin Haney. Okay? The timing is not right for those young guys. In my opinion, as a boxing manager and somebody who's been around the sport, I just don't think now is a good time. Just my personal assessment. And I could be wrong with that. Now, moving right along. Ryan Garcia versus I looked at Ryan Garcia's physique. The man looked like he's in tip-top shape. I have to give it to him. When he was training and preparing to fight Rolly Romero, his physique was trash. He definitely was not training the way he was supposed to. Now, I'm not making no excuses for him because he did get knocked down and he lost. But at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia is very inconsistent. We don't know which Ryan Garcia is going to show up. Just like I said, we don't know which Teofimo Lopez is going to show up. Remember I said that? And I told you what the results was going to be if the wrong Teo showed up. And I'm telling you again now. If the wrong Ryan Garcia show up in this fight against Mario Barrios, he might as well hang it up. Because here's the thing about Ryan Garcia. This is his first chance at really, when I say really, I mean at really winning a fight without the scrutiny of being on PEDs. Now his physique, I got my eye on him. Look a little suspicious. I got my eye on you, Ryan. And I'm not talking about the Ostarine because I'm still standing by my belief system and my research that Ryan Garcia's, what was it, a billionth of a gram or whatever? I believe that he had to deal with the process of contamination with those supplements. That's what I believe. I'm the anti-doping advocate. That's just what I believe. But nonetheless, he suffered the consequences and he didn't look good against Rolly. And he overestimated himself by underestimating Rolly and overlooking Rolly. The same way Devin Haney was overlooking Ryan Garcia. And you've seen he got clipped. And if he get in this fight and try to overlook Barrios, he's going to get the same treatment. Ryan Garcia has not been in a world championship fight and win that fight, become a world champion, and not having to deal with the scrutiny of PED usage. He's never won a major world title, especially in this division. And I'm not talking about with no low level, period. He has an opportunity to do it the right way. No scrutiny, no controversy. He has an opportunity to do it. But which Ryan Garcia is going to show up? If he have all these different mental lapses that he always have, he's not going to win this fight. If Ryan Garcia go into that ring and don't make any adjustments, like he usually don't make any adjustment when things don't go his way, he's not going to win this fight. Now, to my understanding, Mario Barrios is the underdog in this fight. Mario Barrios is the underdog. But Mario ain't nobody to sleep on, man. He has a lot of experience. He's been in that ring with different styles. Not saying Ryan haven't, but he is a world champion for a reason. And I'm sure he could be honest and say that he learned something out of that Manny Pacquiao fight. Ryan Garcia has never fought someone that had the experience of a Manny Pacquiao. I mean, you can go down the list of Mario Barrios' resume. Now, I know that he hasn't come out looking spectacular in every fight because he only literally had one loss to the great Tank Davis. Okay, but at the end of the day, Mario Barrios, he can rumble now. He come to get it. He take risks. He put his punches together. He don't have that much defense, technically or tactfully, but at the end of the day, he come to get it. So I respect him. But at the end of the day, if he don't make no adjustments, I'm talking about Mario now, he can lose this fight as well. He took it a little bit easy on Pacquiao, especially in them later rounds. And I say later rounds with emphasis on it. Because when the fighter's on the snack program, y'all know this, I taught y'all this. When a fighter's on the snack program, they don't get tired, right? In the later rounds, they don't get tired, right? Okay, then. Mario Barrios still had energy in them later rounds. So by right, he had enough energy after his second wind kicked in that second half of the fight. Let his hands go and be a little bit more of a risk taker like he is in the earlier rounds of fights. And he's going to need that snap program in this fight. He's going to need it. That's where my suspicions keep coming from. Because Mario Barrios might be on a snack program. I think snack is still existing now. The website is still on and popping. Snack is still alive. Don't get it twisted now. Hey. If you go back in that Pacquiao fight, you're going to see Mario Barrios. He's still got Snack logo all on him. Right? Robert Garcia, the trainer. He be training certain fighters, right? He's still wearing Snack paraphernalia, right? Okay, then. Don't get it twisted now. Victor Conti probably left a secret stash of the potent Snack. So I can't put nothing past Ryan Garcia, nor am I putting nothing past Mario Barrios. What I'm trying to get at is Mario Barrios, he has an opportunity to upset the apple cart. He is going to have more longevity in the later rounds as far as his oxygen levels. It's no secret. We know it's true. The snack program, it works. Ryan Garcia. We don't know which Ryan going to show up. But I saw his physique. And I can't wait till tomorrow to see the weigh-in. Ryan, I hope you're doing everything on the up and up, buddy. Because if you are and you win, all hats will be off for Ryan Garcia. Being a finally contender who can say, I'm now a world champion. Because he hasn't done it. Now, somebody might ask, well, how is he getting the opportunity to fight for a world title when he just lost in his last fight? Only thing I can tell you is, like I always quote, good representation is priceless. And this is an opportunity for Ryan Garcia to become a world champion. But he's going to have to let his hands go in this fight. He's going to have to take risks. He's going to have to use the left hook, but not just to the head. He's got to use that left hook to Mario Barrios' body to slow him down, because Mario's going to keep coming and coming like the Energizer Bunny. We know this. And he's not going to move his head when he's stepping to Ryan Garcia. His head's going to be stuck right on the line. Ryan Garcia is a good counterpuncher. So is Mario Barrios. This might be a fight where the first 3 or 4 rounds, they might try to get technical. But a fight's going to have to break out in order for us to be entertained because of their styles. But Ryan Garcia, he can't back up a lot in this fight. Not against Mario. I'm not saying go toe-to-toe with him every round. But you do have to pivot. And you do have to turn Mario. But at the same time, if he backs up too much in this fight, I'm talking about the weaknesses of Ryan Garcia, like he always do, it's going to be a long night for him. You know, this can be a seesaw battle with both of these guys. I am going to do some videos tomorrow on it, and then I will give my prediction, but I think that both guys have an opportunity to win this. And I think tomorrow, on Saturday night, it's going to come down to will. Whose will is stronger in this fight? Mario is used to getting bloody to a pulp. He used to his eye closing. Mario used to all that. He's experienced in that area. So if Ryan think he's going to discourage Mario when that stuff happens, he can forget that. And I'm only saying that because Ryan said it's going to be a lot of cuts and blood in this fight. If you think that's going to hinder Mario, you got another thing coming. Mario Barrios is a world champion. We've seen him up here, and then we see him in some fights. He come down here. It's going to be a good fight. But both guys definitely have the opportunity to win this. But you know I got to lean to the snack program. You know that. And if Mario Barrios have that snack logo on his trunks, look out for rounds 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 10. I've been telling y'all that. You know when I was telling y'all that before, what the people were saying, oh, Marty, you hating. Right? And then Devin Haney knocked down Regis Prograis in the 3rd round. Oh, Marty, you hating. And then Terrence Crawford knocked out Errol Spence in the 2nd round. Oh, come on, Marty, you hating. And then Virgil Ortiz TKO Erickson Lubin in the 2nd round. Come on, man, you hating. And then Shakur Stevenson TKO Josh Padley in the 9th. You want me to continue? Because we know we can do this on it. You hating, Marty. You hating on snack. You hating. Clarissa Shields knocked down that white lady. I don't know her name, so I'm sorry for saying white lady. But she knocked down that white lady and TKO her in the 2nd round. Something Clarissa ain't never done. Oh, Marty, you hating. You want me to continue? You know I can. Hey. I can keep this on. I can keep this on and on and on and on. How you want it? I'm just saying, y'all. Like when Shakur Stevenson knocked down, what's his name? Name was on the tip of my tongue. Man. Well, I did a video on this. Y'all remember? Remember I did the video on all the fights that Shakur had? Rounds 2, 6, 9, when he was with Top Rank and Victor Conti and Snack, remember? And then Timothy Bradley came out and he commented on my video and said, Manager Marty, I hope you get sued. Y'all remember that? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. You know how Devin Haney knocked down Brian Norman in the 2nd round. Dang, where you get that power from? Dang. I mean, the list could just keep on going on and on. You see how, you seen how Terrence Crawford was retreating in that Canelo Alvarez fight, and he never got tired. And then in the 9th and 10th round, he was, you see how he looked in that Canelo fight? Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm just saying. The snack program works. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it.